Hi friends, it's Raven. As you may know, I'm doing a no spend year challenge for 2021 so I can try and pay off some debt, save some money, and hopefully buy a schoolie in the near future so that I can travel the country for a couple years. And last month alone, I paid over $2,000 in debt, which is super exciting. And I hope I can get another big chunk of that paid down this month as well. So today in this video, we're going to do another budget with me for March. So let's get into it. So first things first, I just want to say that I finally paid off my very first credit card and I'm super excited about it. It means I'm one more step closer to my goals and it feels like such a huge weight is lifted off of my shoulders and I'm so excited. So I'm really hoping that this month I'll be able to be just as successful as I was last month. But I did get a little bit lazy again this month as far as decorating for my bullet journal. This is what I have so far. So I'm still kind of tweaking it along the way as I go, just because I'm still very new at bullet journaling. This is my first year ever doing it. So I'm kind of learning along the way of what I like, what I don't like, and things that work better for me. So far, from February, I actually really liked the layout that I did. So I did something super similar for this month. So over here, I just have the calendar, and I don't really actually reference the calendars very often, but what I do note is like my paydays, so I just put a $sign where I get paid those days, and then I mark off different days that I have bills due, so then that way I can remember which day they are due. And this month I just decorated it kind of with pink and some green. And I had these really fun stickers that I got from Redbubble. I'll have a link up here to the video that I did reviewing these stickers that I got. But yeah, so this is my first month actually using these stickers and I really like them. I picked the transparent kind so that I can have the colors show through underneath it and I really like how that turned out. But yeah, so I just colored penciled the background with pink and green, and then I did some washi tape down here and the Redbubble stickers. So I thought that turned out cute. I really like how I did the headers this month. I really like that swirly look, and any chance I can get to practice my cursive, I'll take it. So yeah, so this is just sort of a plain monthly overview, and I also have my goals for the month, which is to practice the splits. I'll have another link up here for my video on my New Year's resolutions, and one of them was to be able to do the splits. I know that's kind of cheesy, and I'm probably too old to be practicing that, but it's something that I've never been able to do, and I've always wanted to do it, and these last couple days I've actually been doing daily stretches to try and practice how to do that, so that's where this goal comes into place, is because I really want to take at least 5-10 minutes every single day to stretch out so that I can try and learn how to do the splits. That's all I want to do. And then another one is to read a book. So far this has been on my goals every month, and last month I did finish a book with my husband. I don't know if you guys want to see me do reviews of the different books that we read or not, but I did read one. It was Devoted by Dean Koontz. My grandma actually really likes that author, so when I saw that book available on Kindle Unlimited through Amazon, I figured I'd give it a shot. It was definitely an interesting book. So now this month I want to read another one. I don't know if I'm going to read it with my husband or if I'm just going to read it by myself, but I enjoy reading now, and I really want to add a book a month, at least one book a month. And then the last goal is to go for walks. I live in Minnesota and it's been very cold lately, but the last week and a half, it started warming up again. We've been hitting in the 40s and 50s, and to me that is very nice. For us, we've been coming out of the zeros and the sub-zeros, so 40 to 50 is perfect weather for us to finally start stepping back outside. So I really want to start going for walks on the nicer days and just get some fresh air, because that is so needed right now with being cooped up in the house all the time. Okay, and then on the other side, I have my trackers, and this is pretty similar to how I did it in February. I really like how this setup is with the different checkpoints for the day. So again, I just kind of did little swirly cursive. I really like how that turned out. But I have it for meditation, healthy food, water, and working out. So yeah. I really like how that setup is, so I'm going to stick with that, at least for now, until I can think of a different way of doing it. And again, I just kind of decorated with some little stickers and washi tape, and I don't know, it's simple, but I like it. And then for my mood tracker, I really enjoyed how I did that last month as well. So I just did like a vine with the leaves to kind of tie in with the other leafy theme. So I'm going to fill those in every day depending on my mood. And then down here I just have a key. So depending on which color indicates how I'm feeling that day. All right, and then this is how I did my budget. So I did it very similar to last month. And then this time I also included it last time, but I didn't decorate it. But this time I included a decorated, or at least a slightly more decorated log. So then that way I can document what my spending was for the month there. So let's get into working on the budget. Okay, so here is our budget, and I did it very, very similar to February, and I like this way better than how I did it in January. But yeah, so basically I just have my incomes up here, I have my expenses down here, and then debt, and then the final total down here. And please ignore my really crappy manicure, I need to get that done. So right now I'm going to fill in the incomes and expenses. Okay, so as usual, my paychecks come in usually around $1,000. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less, depending on how many hours I worked. But I know that it is usually around $1,000. So I budget $1,000 for each paycheck. This third one here is $200, and that is what my husband helps me with on some of my bills. He takes care of a lot of his own separate bills as well, but there are a couple that we share, so this is where he pays me to share with those. So then our total income, or my total income, is $2,200. And then for expenses, rent is always $750. And then for my car, I have that as $0 because I was supposed to go back to working at the office this month, but got pushed back another month to be able to stay at home. So I will not be driving anywhere, so I have no car expenses for the month. HH here represents household, and that is for $50. So that's to cover like cat food, dog food, toilet paper, things like that, household items. And then over here I have Adobe, which is like a Photoshop and creative program that I use for side projects that I work on for work. Storage here, that's mostly just like online digital data storage, so I pay $5 for that. Food is about $100. For savings, I want to try and put away at least $50 for savings this month. I am so close to hitting my $2,000 emergency fund, so I'm, trying my hardest to get to that number sooner than later. My phone is $335, and again, that is something that me and my husband share. It's for both of our plans, but again, some of that money goes in towards sharing with that as well. Insurance, I pay for dental insurance, which is $38, and then I have other here for $40, and this has come in handy in the past. It's to cover expenses that I didn't otherwise plan for. So like last month I ended up having to get some medication that was $15, so that came out of the other because I didn't have it budgeted for anything else. So again, having something just as an other is very, very nice for emergencies. It's sort of like a second emergency fund, if you will. It's sort of like a extra backup, just in case you need some extra cash and you don't have it budgeted anywhere else. All right, so then the total for all of that, if I did my math correctly, was $1,379. So now let's get into the debt. Okay, so for my debt, you will notice that I left this one here blank, and that is because we are going to figure out how much I'm going to put towards this debt once we figure out how much money we have left after everything else is paid for. So basically, I do what's called the snowball method. I'll link a video up at the top towards what the snowball method is, but basically, I'm going to try and pay as much as I possibly can towards this credit card first, and then these ones I'm just paying the minimum on. So again, last month I had a different credit card that was included in here, but I paid it off, yay! So I do not have that on here anymore, and it is such a relief. But the next one is this C1 card, so I'm going to try and work my butt off to get that one paid off, and then we can tackle this one, and then I will be completely done with credit card debt, and I'm so excited for that. And then this SL here is just my student loans, so I know for a fact I will not get that paid for quite a few years yet, but I still make a minimum payment on that as well. But hopefully once I get everything else paid for, I'll be able to cut into my student debt a lot quicker as well and get it paid off as soon as I can. And then I also have another option here that I leave blank because you really never know. So it's always good to have an extra box for any other kind of things that might come up. Just like for my income, I left a couple boxes open just in case there's an additional income that I don't plan for, and I leave another option here open for just in case. And I also write in pencil because I'm going to be erasing a lot of these things probably throughout the month. Like my incomes are going to change, so I'm going to have to erase those and add in what the correct number is and basically adjust everything from there. So, again, that's why I write in pencil, because things will change. So now I'm going to take these numbers and figure out what my total is left. Okay, so once I figure out all these other numbers, I have $2,200 for income, $1,379 for expenses, and so far, minus that C1 card, 380 towards debt. So that equals $441. So as usual, I like to take away $200 from that number as my cushion. I know Dave Ramsey usually recommends budgeting out to zero, but I don't like to do that because you never know what might happen or what might come up. So I always budget down to what I'm comfortable with, which is $200. So basically the idea of having that money in my account is so that way I don't have to tap into my emergency fund unless I absolutely have to. So basically that $200 to me is equivalent to having $0. So it's just an emergency fund. And then, like this other up here is also an emergency fund. So it's kind of like if all else fails, I have this to lean back on and I have this to lean back on before I have to use my emergency fund. I do not want to touch that money at all unless I absolutely have to. So that's why I do that. So that 441 minus 200 equals 241. So now this number here is going to become the money that I put towards this card here. And then I just adjust everything from there. So there we have it. Now my income is $2,200 minus $1,379 minus $621 equals that $200 that I am maxing out to. So that is the entire budget for the month, and I'm excited to see where this month takes me. So that is March's budget, and hopefully I'm just as successful as I was for February, and I'm able to pay off lots of debt, save lots of money, and be one step closer to my goals. So if you guys have any questions or comments at all, please let me know. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up so I know what kind of content you guys like to see. And if you want to follow along on my no spend journey for 2021, go ahead and subscribe as well. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye!